There's a kind of love that feels like a storm, powerful, overwhelming, and impossible to control. You think about them all the time. Their absence feels like a wound, their silence like a punishment. You check your phone, waiting for a message. You replay conversations in your mind, searching for hidden meanings. Your heart is tied to them. But what happens when they start pulling away? Emotional attachment can feel intoxicating, but it can also be dangerous. When love becomes desperation, it no longer lifts you up, it drags you down. Islam teaches us that love should never make you feel weak or dependent. Instead, it should bring peace, dignity, and balance to your heart. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him, gave us a profound reminder about where true love begins. He said, "When Allah loves a person, He calls Jibril and says, 'I love so-and-so, so love him.' Then Jibril loves him. After that, Jibril announces to the inhabitants of the heavens, 'Allah loves so-and-so, so love him.' And the inhabitants of the heavens love him too. Then acceptance is placed for him on earth." Sahih al-Bukhari, 3209, Muslim, 2637. Do you see the wisdom in this? When Allah loves you, love follows naturally. You don't have to chase it, beg for it, or suffer for it. Love flows from the heavens to the earth, and the right people will value you without you having to plead for their attention. So, what should you do when you feel emotionally attached to someone? How do you regain control over your heart without losing yourself in the process? Let's uncover the wisdom of Islam and learn how to navigate love with strength and faith. Love is one of the most powerful emotions a person can experience. It has the ability to bring immense joy, but if not understood correctly, it can also lead to deep sorrow. Islam recognizes love as a natural and beautiful part of life. Allah created our hearts with the capacity to love, but He also gave us guidance on how to love in a way that brings peace, not pain. Allah says in the Quran, "And among His signs is that He created for you from yourselves spouses that you may find tranquility in them, and He placed between you affection and mercy. Indeed, in that are signs for a people who reflect." Surah Ar-Rum, 30:21. This verse reveals a deep truth. Love should bring tranquility, not chaos. When love is real, it does not make you anxious. It does not leave you feeling uncertain or unworthy. Instead, it is filled with affection and mercy, two qualities that nurture the soul rather than weaken it. Many people mistake love for emotional dependence. They attach themselves so deeply to another person that they begin to believe they cannot live without them. Their happiness, their self-worth, even their peace of mind, all of it depends on that one person. This is where love turns into an unhealthy attachment. When someone holds that much power over your emotions, they have taken a place in your heart that should belong to Allah alone. The reality is, no human being can complete you in the way that Allah can. No matter how much someone loves you, they will have their flaws. They will make mistakes, and they may even walk away. But Allah is always there. He is Al-Wadud, the most loving. His love is perfect, everlasting, and does not depend on conditions. The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, gave us a reminder about what truly matters in life. The most beloved actions to Allah are those done consistently, even if small. Sahih Muslim. This teaches us something valuable about love as well. Love that is sincere and built on faith remains steady. It is not just about emotions that rise and fall. It is about actions, loyalty, and consistency. But when love is based only on fleeting emotions, it can collapse the moment difficulties arise. That is why Islam encourages us to love with wisdom. Love should be an addition to your happiness, not the source of it. It should complement your life, not consume it. So, ask yourself, is the love you feel leading you closer to peace, or is it making you restless? Is it strengthening your connection with Allah, or is it pulling you away from Him? True love, the kind that is blessed by Allah, does not weaken you. It completes you in the right way, through faith, patience, and sincerity. Emotional attachment is often subtle. It starts as admiration, then turns into deep longing, and before you know it, your heart is consumed by someone. You may not even realize how much control this attachment has over you until it begins to affect your peace, your choices, and even your relationship with Allah. So, how do you know when your emotional attachment has become unhealthy? Here are some signs to reflect on. Your happiness depends on their presence. You feel empty when they are not around. Your emotions rise and fall based on their attention. When they acknowledge you, you feel on top of the world. But when they distance themselves, you feel lost and broken. You constantly seek validation from them. Their approval matters more than anything else. If they praise you, you feel worthy. If they ignore you, you question your self-worth. Instead of finding confidence in your faith and in yourself, you rely on their words to define your value. You tolerate disrespect just to keep them in your life. No matter how they treat you, you make excuses for them. You ignore their harsh words, their neglect, or even their mistreatment just because you are afraid of losing them. You would rather suffer in silence than risk being alone. You fear losing them more than you fear displeasing Allah. Ask yourself, do you hesitate to correct them when they do something wrong? Do you compromise your values just to stay close to them? When you start prioritizing a person over your obedience to Allah, your heart is in danger. You neglect your relationship with Allah due to your attachment to them. Your prayers feel rushed. Your thoughts are filled with them instead of dhikr. You delay acts of worship because you are too preoccupied with pleasing them. When someone takes up so much space in your heart that it weakens your connection with Allah, that love is no longer pure. It has become a distraction. When love begins to distract you from your purpose, it turns into a test rather than a blessing. The greatest loss is when a person forgets their Creator for the sake of His creation. The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, gave us a powerful reminder about the state of our hearts. Verily, in the body, there is a piece of flesh which, if it is sound, the whole body is sound. But if it is corrupt, the whole body is corrupt. Verily, it is the heart. Sahih al-Bukhari. 52. Muslim 1599. Your heart is the core of your being. If it is consumed by an unhealthy attachment, everything else in your life begins to suffer. Your peace, your worship, and your sense of self. That is why the strongest foundation for love is loving Allah first. When your heart is attached to Him before anyone else, you will never be left empty. You will never beg for love, and you will never lose yourself in the process of loving someone else. When emotions take control, it can feel impossible to let go. The deeper the attachment, the harder it is to move forward. But Islam provides a way out, guidance that not only frees the heart, but also helps you maintain dignity and self-respect. Here's what you should do when you find yourself emotionally attached to someone. 1. Strengthen your relationship with Allah. Your heart will always long for something, but if it is not filled with the love of Allah, it will cling to people instead. That is why your first priority must always be your Creator. Increase your prayers, read the Quran, and seek comfort in dhikr, the remembrance of Allah. Allah reminds us, indeed in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:28. When you remember Allah more than you remember that person, your heart naturally begins to heal. The pain of attachment fades, and peace takes its place. Instead of searching for comfort in others, find it in your connection with your Lord. 2. Make dua for guidance. Emotions can be overwhelming, but there is one powerful tool that every believer has: dua. The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, taught us a beautiful supplication for times when the heart feels unstable. O turner of the hearts, keep my heart firm upon your religion. Tirmidhi 2140. If your heart is attached to someone in a way that is harming your peace, ask Allah to help you let go. Ask Him to replace unhealthy attachment with sincere love for Him. No heart is beyond His control, and no pain is beyond His healing. 3. Create emotional boundaries. Islam teaches us to guard our emotions just as we guard our actions. If someone is not meant for you, do not force the connection. Holding on to someone who causes pain and uncertainty will only weaken you. The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, gave us a simple yet powerful principle to follow. Leave that which makes you doubt for that which does not make you doubt. Tirmidhi 2518. If being attached to someone fills you with doubt, stress and sadness, take a step back. Protect your heart before it breaks completely. Do not chase someone who is not willing to walk the path of faith with you. 4. Seek love the right way. Love, when pursued correctly, becomes a blessing. If your feelings are sincere and aligned with Islamic values, seek marriage through halal means. In Islam, love is not a game. It is a sacred commitment. The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, advised, when someone with whose religion and character you are satisfied comes to you for marriage, then marry him. Tirmidhi 1084. If a person is serious about you, they will take the right steps toward commitment. If they are not, let them go. Do not hold on to false hopes. A love that is built on faith will always find a way, but a love that is built on uncertainty will only lead to heartbreak. 5. Find fulfillment in your purpose. A heart that is busy with meaningful goals has no time to suffer from emotional dependence. When you focus on your personal growth, your iman, your skills, and your contributions to the world, you naturally become stronger. You realize that your worth is not tied to someone else's attention, but to your connection with Allah and your impact on the world. The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, reminded us, the strong believer is better and more beloved to Allah than the weak believer, although there is good in both. Sahih Muslim 2664. Strength does not mean being emotionless. It means having control over your emotions instead of letting them control you. Strengthen yourself emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Love will come at the right time, in the right way, with the right person, without you having to beg for it. Love should be uplifting, not degrading. It should bring peace, not desperation. Yet many people find themselves begging for love, pleading for attention, chasing after someone who continuously pulls away, and sacrificing their dignity in the process. But true love does not require begging. If someone truly cares for you, they will respect and value you, without you having to fight for their attention. If you ever feel the need to constantly prove your worth to someone, take a step back. Love that is built on desperation is not love. It is dependence. Love should not cost you your dignity. Begging for love lowers your self-worth. It makes you feel like you are not good enough unless someone validates you. But the truth is, your value does not depend on whether someone acknowledges you or not. Allah reminds us in the Quran, and be patient, for indeed Allah does not allow the reward of those who do good to be lost. Surah Hud 11:115. Patience is a test, but it is also a protection. Rushing into love, forcing a connection, or chasing after someone who does not value you will only lead to heartache. The right love, when it is written for you, will come with honor, not humiliation. Trust in Allah's plan. We often hold on to people because we fear being alone. We convince ourselves that if we let them go, we will never find someone else. But this is a trap of the heart. The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, assured us, "You will never leave something for the sake of Allah, but Allah will replace it with something better for you." Musnad Ahmad 2565. When you walk away from an unhealthy attachment for the sake of Allah, He will give you something far greater. Maybe it will be a love that is pure and fulfilling. Or maybe it will be inner peace and strength that you never imagined. Either way, what Allah gives you will always be better than what you left behind. The love that is meant for you will come. The love that is written for you will come at the right time, in the right way, and through the right means. You will not have to chase it. The person who is truly meant for you will see your value, respect your heart, and appreciate your presence, without you having to beg for it. So, hold on to your dignity, walk away from love that makes you feel unwanted, and trust in Allah's plan. Because when you leave something for the sake of Allah, what He replaces it with will always be far better than anything you could have imagined. Love is one of the most beautiful gifts that Allah has placed in our hearts. But in Islam, love is meant to elevate you, not break you. It should never lead you to desperation or compromise in your faith. If you find yourself struggling with emotional attachment, take a moment to remind yourself of these truths. Your heart belongs to Allah first. No person should ever take a place in your heart that is greater than your love for Him. You are worthy of love that is halal and sincere. The right love will come with honor and respect, not confusion and pain. What is meant for you will never miss you. If someone is truly written for you, no distance, delay, or hardship will keep them away. But if they are not meant for you, no amount of effort will make them stay. The Prophet, peace and blessing upon him, taught us a powerful principle to live by. Be mindful of Allah, and He will be mindful of you. If you ask, ask Allah. If you seek help from Allah. Tirmidhi 2516. Placing your trust in Allah will free your heart from unnecessary pain. When you leave matters in His hands, He will guide you to what is best for you, and what Allah chooses for you will always be far greater than anything you could have chosen for yourself. So trust Him, let go of what is not meant for you, and open your heart to the love that is pure, sincere, and blessed by Him. Like, comment, and share if you found this video beneficial. And don't forget to subscribe for more Islamic wisdom and motivation. May Allah guide our hearts to what pleases Him. Ameen.